My name is Dexter Dillon. I'm 22 years old. A few months ago, I went to a heavy metal music festival. There, I was fortunate enough to meet an awesome girl. She was about my age. Her name was Claudia. We got along very well and had a great time. Plus the fact that she was beautiful, it didn't hurt either. Claudia had the most amazing long dark curly hair. She was dressed in black and her big green eyes were stunning. So after the music festival was over, we exchanged contacts and decided that we wanted to keep seeing each other. For the moment, we were just friends. But I have to admit I was hoping for something more in the future. And indeed, I was definitely going to be experiencing something more. Careful for what you wish for. Luckily enough, Claudia didn't live that far away from me. Just 1 hour of distance by car, when she invited me to have dinner at her place. I was happy and excited. It was late October, so Halloween season was already showing itself, with skeletons, witches, and pumpkins placed outside some of the houses. Plus, that particular night when I was driving to Claudia's place, it was raining. So the mood was really perfect for us to watch some horror movies. As I finally arrived, I parked the car in front of Claudia's garage, and she said I should. It was 9:30, a Sunday night. Young people. Yeah, we like to eat at late hours. I got out of the car and I called Claudia. She wasn't answering her cell phone, but I could hear it ringing inside her house, although the lights were out. I tried a couple more times. No answer. But again, I could listen to the cell phone ringing. I thought Claudia was making a fool out of me. Some kind of early Halloween prank? So I decided to play along. I got closer to Claudia's house. The front door was locked, but I circled around the house trying to find the back door. Bingo! There it was, and it was unlocked. I entered Claudia's house through the back door. I was inside the kitchen. I switched the lights on. Come out, wherever you are," I said. Eventually, I entered the living room. Again, I switched the lights on. I saw Claudia lying behind the couch. I started to laugh. "Is that the best you can do, Claudia? I can see you, lying on your back. Your hair gave you up immediately." But she wasn't answering. I approached her. When I touched her, I realized there was blood all over her dark clothes. The blood was now on me. I turned her over and I screamed. Claudia's throat had been cut, slaughtered. Her big green eyes were still open, but now completely lifeless, although still revealing the fear and terror that she must have felt when being murdered. The last moments of her life. As for me, I started feeling dizzy. As I looked at Claudia's dead body, her clothes and face filled with blood. My head was spinning around. My brain went into shock, and I fainted. I passed out completely. The surprise was even bigger when I woke up. I wasn't in the same room. There was someone dead in front of me. Still. But it wasn't Claudia anymore. It was a man in his early 40s, bald, fat, with a long beard. What is happening here? I thought to myself. As an answer, I realized I was holding a bloody knife in my right hand. The man's neck had also been slashed. By me. I was covered in this strange man's blood, and I had no idea what was going on. No memory whatsoever. Trying to remain happy, I explored the place where I was. It was some kind of cottage, a small wooden house. It was surrounded by woods. For some odd reason, my car was outside the cottage. Fortunately, thanks to my GPS, I was able to determine where I was. I didn't report the dead man to the police. I didn't even report Claudia's death. I was afraid I was going to be arrested, and the police would never believe my words. I don't remember anything. Probably the oldest excuse in the book. I went back home and burned my clothes. I washed the knife with bleach so there would be no traces of blood or fingerprints rather than my own. I thought it was better than to throw it away. It was safer to keep it with me instead of taking the chance of someone finding it. In any case, a few days later, the police came to my house. Claudia's dead body had been found, and of course, I was on her cell phone's contact list. I lied, saying I went there, as expected, but she didn't answer her door or her cell phone, so I left and returned home. It's not the first time a woman had second thoughts about being with me, so I didn't think it was such a big deal. That's what I told the police. But I didn't remember that I left my fingerprints all over Claudia's house. I became a suspect. I was called in by the police for a second interrogation. The night before I was supposed to go, I fell asleep, nervous and terrified. I had no idea what was going on, and I could go to jail if the police didn't believe me. When I woke up, it was the middle of the night. Once again, I wasn't where I was supposed to be. I wasn't in my own house this time. I was lying on the floor in a darkened room. The floor was wet. I got up trying to find a switch to turn on some kind of light. Finally, I found it. Now I could see. I could see I was inside a gloomy and stinky garage. I could see something else. Inside the garage, there were shelves, and the shelves were filled with heads of young dead girls. And on the floor, there it was, another dead man. Also in his early 40s like the other. He actually looked a lot like the previous one, except for the beard. They could be twins. This dead man's throat had been cut open like the other one, just like Claudia's. And on the floor next to this man, another knife. I couldn't take it anymore. Screaming, I called the police. Someone, please, tell me what is going on. I don't mind going to jail. I just need to understand what is wrong with me. The police traced the call and came to me. I was placed under arrest. On my first night sleeping in my cell, Claudia herself came to me in my dreams. And she said, "Hello, Dexter. I'm sorry, but when you came to my house, my spirit was still trapped and filled with anger. I entered your body, and I took control of you. I used you to kill my 2 murderers. Thank you. Now, I'm free." When I woke up, I told what happened to the police. Of course, no one believed me. How could they? Even if they would, the physical evidence would say otherwise. Claudia's spirit is now free and avenged. But as for me, I'm going to jail for a long, long time.